Hello class, and welcome to week 2. This week we'll be focusing in on Microsoft Word once again, but we'll be moving on to chapter 2 in the textbook. What I'd like to do this week again is go through objective 1, and this will help you get started on how to create a table, which will kind of serve as the base of what we're doing this week, and it's one of the key elements of some of the things we're learning to do in the Word program. So having said that, let's get started. So we will start with step 1 here. This is on page 217 of your textbook. So of course, first thing is to go ahead and start your Word program. Wait for that to launch here. Okay. And once in Word, go ahead and click Blank Document. And on the Home tab in the Paragraph group, if necessary, once again, go ahead and click the Show Hide to display the formatting marks and the rulers from the View tab. If you've already set this from prior work, you likely do not need to do this. As you can see, I've got formatting marks showing here, but this is where you'll check for them. In step 2, we're going to go ahead and click the File tab and do a Save As. This is where we're going to save this file. So just as you did previously, if you have a Word Chapter 2 folder, that's great. You can certainly create one, or you can save it wherever else on your computer that you like to keep your assignments. But we're going to name this file last name _ first name to a resume. Substitute in your own last name and first name certainly in that section. So I'm going to do that here. And we'll get to there. Okay, last name. Well, actually, I'll use my actual information. 2A. And the name was to be resume. Okay. So, now that we've saved the file, move to step 4, and we're going to go to the Insert tab. And in the header and footer group, we're going to click the footer. We're going to go to Insert, Footer, and Edit Footer. And then in the ribbon, in the Insert group, you're going to click Document Info, and you want to put the file name. So this is a pretty common step for what we do in these files. So this is good to remember. You likely have already done this through the first week of the course. And so once we've done that, close header and footer. And the 5th step, on the Insert tab in the Tables group, we're going to click Table. And then in the Insert Table grid, we're going to pick the 4th row and the 2nd square. So we're going to go Insert, Table, 4th row, 2nd square. Now what that means is it's going to create a table by going 4 rows down. It's going to create a table with 4 rows, and then by moving over 2 sections, that's going to create with 2 columns. So that's what you see here. We've got 4 rows down and 2 columns across. So keep that in mind when creating a table. That's how you're going to set it up if you're setting it up in this manner. And you can compare your figure to figure 2.2 here, or your page, excuse me. Once you've done that, go to step 6, and you'll see that there are marks for each cell. Those are formatting marks. They just indicate different cells. That's what each of these items are in there. Go ahead on to the next page, and then we're going to start doing some things with our table here. So with the insertion point, blinking in the first cell, in the first row, you're going to type objective in all capital letters and press Tab. By pressing Tab, it's going to move your cursor from the cell it was in to the next one to the right. If we pressed it again here, it would go to the next cell down on the left. So now we're going to also then do step 2. I'm going to do this, and then we'll return back here. So go ahead and type this in that next cell where your cursor is currently. Okay, so now we have this text in that cell. We're going to then press Tab to move the first cell in the second row, and then you're going to go ahead and type summary of qualifications, again in all capital letters. Okay, and press tab once again. And then you're going to type the following information, pressing enter at the end of each line except the last one. So go ahead and do that, and we'll pick up the video where that's entered in. Okay, and once again, after you've typed that information in, go ahead and tab to get to the next cell in the next row. And here we are on the next page in your text. You're going to go to step 1, and you're going to type experience in all capital letters, and press the tab button once again. And then after pressing that tab button, you're going to go ahead and you're going to then type each of these lines, pressing enter after each item, only this time press enter after the last item as well, and then we'll pick it up on the other side of that. So as you can see, here is that with the enter at the end. So ensure that your cursor is underneath here in that same spot. You should have this blank row. And this, you can see this in figure 2.5, so just look here, make sure your insertion point is here. I'm going to go to the next page, and in step 4 we're going to be on the insert tab, and in the text group we're going to go click the object button arrow and click the text from file, and grab this WOTA experience file. So we're going to go to insert, object, text from file, and then under Word Chapter 2, O2A Experience, Insert. And you'll see how it inserts it right after that. So let's go ahead here. So now we want to go back, and you're going to be at step 5. So we want to press backspace one time to remove the blank line at the end of the inserted text. So that's going to be right here. And then your content should match what's down here. So now in step 6, we're going to tab to move to the first cell in the 4th row, and we're going to type honors and activities in all capital letters and press tab once again. So go ahead and press the tab, honors and activities. Okay, and then we're going to once again type the following, pressing enter at the end of each item except for the last one. Go ahead and do that, and then we'll pick it back up here. So now you have that text entered, and you're going to go back, and in step 8 they want us to save, and you will then see your document should look like figure 2.7 here down the bottom. And then go ahead and go to the next page, and this is where you'll pick up from here. So next what you'll be doing is resizing the cells, changing many of these items to bullet points so they look more clean and more visually appealing, which is what we're looking for with a resume. So please pick up from there, carry on with this activity, doing all the objectives, and kind of work towards that final product, and this will help you as you prepare towards working on this week's assignment. Good luck, and see you next time.